What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing the Smackdown review. We started off with Shane McMahon and the Smackdown roster backstage. Shane is hyping up Survivor Series. And then Daniel Bryan comes out to the ring. He starts hyping up Survivor Series as well. He calls out AJ Styles. Then Daniel Bryan says, we like to treat our champions better than the Raw champions. So being that Brock Lesnar has an advocate, would you like one as well? AJ Styles says yes. So Daniel Bryan acts as his advocate and mocks Paul Heyman in hyping up both AJ Styles and Survivor Series. After Daniel Bryan is done, AJ Styles takes over and says, I can talk. I'm not a puppet like Brock Lesnar. AJ Styles says that SmackDown will be the A show, and both Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles run down Heyman and Lesnar. Which brings us to our first match, Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara for the United States title. Why?
Bruh.
We've only seen these two people fight 7,982 times since the past pay-per-view. We're just running this one over and over and over again. This needs to be the blow-off match. After this, put these two against other people. This is old. Right at the start of the match, Sin Cara takes it to Baron Corbin, knocking him all over the ring, knocking him outside of the ring, to where most of the match takes place after that. Baron Corbin gets back into the ring and deep sixes Sin Cara for a 2 count. Sin Cara starts to fight back again, but Baron Corbin was able to get the end of days on Sin Cara for the pin. So at Survivor Series, it will be Baron Corbin versus The Miz. I'm looking forward to seeing this match. This is actually pretty cool with all this trash talk that these two have been putting towards each other. I think it probably would have been a little lackluster if Sin Cara won it. After the match, we have a way too long recap.
Dude.
This seems to be an ongoing thing throughout this whole show, so I'll skip most of them. We then have Charlotte Flair versus Natalya for the women's title. Right off at the start of the match, Charlotte puts the spurs to Natalya, but Natalya was able to fight back and slam Charlotte spine first into the ring post. There was a good bit of back and forth between the two of them, but Charlotte was able to get the figure 8 onto Natalya for the submission, so Charlotte is now the new women's champion. She'll be facing Alexa Bliss at the Survivor Series. During an interview after the match, Charlotte says that there was a queen before there was a goddess, and she will be beating Alexa Bliss. She also went on to say that she dedicated this match to Ric Flair, who she thought was at home, but as she was walking back to the locker rooms, Ric Flair's music hits, and he walks out onto the ramp. Charlotte Flair runs over to him. They hug. It's a good bit of emotional piece. They both celebrated at the top of the ramp. Like I said, it was rather emotional between the two of them, and it was a good end for this match. During a short video segment, we get to find out that next week we'll be seeing the debut of the Super Mario Brothers. I mean, the Bludgeon Brothers.
Oops.
Which brings us to our next match, Chad Gable versus Jimmy Uso. Right at the start of the match, Jimmy Uso takes to Chad Gable. The fight continues outside, but as they were trying to get back into the ring, Jimmy Uso was distracted by Shelton Benjamin, which allowed Chad Gable to take out Jimmy Uso's knee. Afterwards, Chad Gable started to work on said knee, but Jimmy Uso was able to fight back and strike at Chad Gable's knee as well. Jimmy Uso tried to go for a pin, got a 2 count, then he followed it up shortly with the super kick, which got him the pin. Which brings us to our main event, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the New Day's Big E and Xavier Woods. The New Day started off pretty strong on Sami Zayn. Shortly afterwards, Kevin Owens tagged in and took over. Big E was able to tag in. He ended up cleaning up house. It was a good bit of back and forth between everybody, but this turned out to be a no contest because the Shield came out. They came walking down through the crowd. Both the New Day and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were standing in the middle of the ring. As the Shield surrounded the ring, then wouldn't you know it, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn rolled out like the little bitches that they are. Now this gets pretty fast and pretty confusing really quick. The Shield come in and attack the New Day. The Usos come out to help the New Day. Then the Bar come out to help out the Shield. In the process of all of this, the Raw women's roster is backstage, and they rush the SmackDown's locker room, lay waste to everybody. Charlotte Flair is sitting in the middle of the group when Alexa Bliss comes in and lays her out. We go back to the ring, and not only do we have the Bar, the Usos, the Shield, and the New Day fighting, but the Raw roster come out through the crowd into the ring and start laying waste to everybody. Shortly afterwards, the SmackDown roster comes in, and it's a big old brawl between everybody. Then Braun Strowman's music hits, and Braun Strowman comes walking out, gets into the ring, and immediately starts laying everybody out. Shane McMahon starts to fight with Braun Strowman, ends up getting hammered. The Shield start to beat down Shane McMahon as Braun Strowman helps clear out the rest of the ring. Now keep in mind, as all this is happening, there are some SmackDown and Raw wrestlers out at ringside that are still fighting. Kurt Angle walks into the ring as the Shield holds Shane McMahon. Kurt Angle says to Shane, wait until Sunday. Then he stands in the middle of the ring, holds his thumbs up like this, and then goes down. to which the Shield sets him up for the triple powerbomb. Then Kurt Angle takes off his suit jacket and gives Shane McMahon the Angle Slam, or I think it's called the Olympic Slam, one of the two. And then they set up Shane McMahon for another Shield powerbomb, which I'm surprised because Braun Strowman was walking around in the middle of the ring. I thought they were going to feed Shane McMahon over to Braun Strowman and give him a power slam. That would have put the end to the show perfectly. But it didn't. They just gave him the power bomb, and everybody else walked out onto the ramp as the SmackDown roster regrouped into the ring and thus ended the show. I do have a little bit of a bone to pick because out of the Raw roster, where was superstar Brock Lesnar and where was the Three Stooges in the middle of all this? This would have been a perfect opportunity for The Miz to get his hands on Baron Corbin, but didn't. Why? Because I'm pretty sure because The Miz is a little bitch. And we didn't see Brock Lesnar through all this because he only shows up once every blue moon when the turtles come up onto the shore to lay their eggs, which probably won't be for another at least 5 more days because he's going to be at Survivor Series, but then we won't see him for another, we'll say, 6 weeks. But anyways, this was a pretty good go-home show for SmackDown. Being it was the last show before Survivor Series, it was the only logical time for Raw to come in and seek revenge. They did. It worked perfectly. It was a good end. It kind of made up for the sorry excuse for a go-home show that Raw did. But that'll do it for this SmackDown review. Leave a comment down below if you saw this SmackDown, what you thought about it, or what you thought of this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.